For years, James Webb has felt like the final word in space telescopes: bigger mirror, deeper vision, images from the dawn of the universe. It gave humanity the sense that we had finally built the ultimate eye in space. But now NASA is preparing something that changes the game in a completely different way, not by looking deeper at one tiny patch of sky, but by moving so wide and so fast that it can measure the shape of the universe itself. This new telescope is not here to replace Webb. It is here to expose everything Webb was never built to chase: the invisible mass holding galaxies together, the force pushing the universe apart, and the hidden 95% of reality we still cannot explain. Once it launches, astronomy may stop asking what one galaxy looks like and start asking what all of them are doing at once. On paper, NASA's new observatory does not look like the obvious successor to James Webb. Its mirror is 2.4 meters wide, the same class as Hubble, and much smaller than Webb's 6.5-meter mirror. If you only judge telescopes by mirror size, you might assume this is a step backward, but that is exactly the trap. The real power of this telescope is not depth alone, it is scale. This observatory carries something Webb does not: a field of view around 100 times larger, meaning one image can cover an enormous patch of sky that would take Webb around 100 separate pointings to photograph. Webb is a microscope. Roman is a wide-angle cosmic survey machine. Webb can show you one galaxy in almost unbelievable detail. Roman can show you what billions of galaxies are doing across space and time. And that difference matters more than most people realize, because the biggest mysteries in cosmology cannot be solved one object at a time. If you want to understand dark matter, dark energy, and the structure of the universe on its largest scales, you need massive statistical power, huge samples, and breadth. Roman was built for that. It is not trying to out-Webb Webb. It is doing something Webb was never meant to do. Here is the real reason this telescope matters so much. Everything humanity has ever touched, seen, breathed, built, or studied in ordinary matter accounts for only about 5% of the universe. The other 95% is dark matter and dark energy, invisible components that dominate reality yet remain among the biggest unsolved problems in physics. Dark matter reveals itself because galaxies rotate too fast to be held together by visible matter alone. The stars at the edges should fly away, but they do not. Something unseen is providing extra gravity. Dark energy is even stranger, appearing to drive the accelerated expansion of the universe itself, pushing space apart faster and faster over cosmic time. We know these things are real in the sense that their effects are measurable, but what they actually are remains deeply uncertain. That is where Roman becomes dangerous in the best scientific sense. It was engineered specifically to measure those invisible forces directly through their effects on light and structure, not just infer them loosely but measure them at scale. Roman is not another pretty picture telescope. It is a machine designed to map what we cannot see by watching how it distorts everything else. Roman's greatest weapon is gravitational lensing. Einstein's general relativity tells us that mass bends space-time and light follows that curvature. Even if dark matter is invisible, its gravity still warps the light of galaxies behind it, and those galaxies end up looking slightly stretched, distorted, or correlated in shape in ways they should not if no hidden mass were present. If you do that with a small sample, you get hints. If you do it with enough galaxies, you get a map. Roman will do it with roughly 2 billion galaxies, moving into a regime where the dark matter signal stops being subtle and starts becoming overwhelming, producing the first enormous three-dimensional maps of dark matter distribution across cosmological volumes. While mapping dark matter, Roman will also measure the expansion history of the universe over around 10 billion years using supernovae and large-scale galaxy patterns, testing whether dark energy behaves like Einstein's cosmological constant or whether something more exotic is going on. In other words, this telescope may tell us whether the universe's accelerated expansion is simple or whether it points to new physics waiting behind the curtain. As powerful as the Dark Universe mission is, it will not be the only thing Roman changes. At the same time, the telescope will monitor around 100 million stars in the galactic bulge, watching for microlensing events, tiny brightenings caused when a foreground object bends the light of a background star. If that foreground object has a planet, the planet leaves its own secondary signature. This matters because microlensing finds planets that transit surveys like Kepler and TESS often miss, especially colder planets farther from their stars, the kinds of worlds that more closely resemble the outer architecture of our own solar system. Roman is expected to discover thousands of these planets, giving us a much better picture of how common solar system-like planetary arrangements really are. But maybe the most exciting part is the thing astronomers always quietly know. The most important discoveries are usually the ones no one designed the telescope to find. Hubble did that, Webb did that, and Roman almost certainly will too. Once you start surveying the sky at this scale, resolution, and cadence, something unexpected is guaranteed to appear: strange transients, unusual lensing events, new classes of objects, signals we do not yet have names for. Roman's official mission is to measure the invisible universe. Its unofficial mission is to surprise everyone. The truly unsettling part of Roman is not just that it can survey 100 times more sky than Webb in the same amount of time. It is what that speed does to astronomy itself. For most of history, major discoveries often came from staring at one target, one region, one puzzle at a time. Roman is built for a different era, one where the sky becomes a data field so large that hidden patterns stop hiding simply because no one had enough coverage to notice them before. Think about that for a moment. 2 billion galaxies for the Dark Energy Survey, 100 million stars for the exoplanet microlensing campaign. A cadence and volume no previous space telescope has ever brought together at this scale. When an instrument starts operating in those numbers, the universe stops looking like a series of isolated objects and starts behaving like a measurable system. Roman is not only going to show us more, it is going to show us whether the cosmos has been obeying statistical structures we were too undersampled to detect before. And that is why Roman feels so dangerous in the best scientific way, because when you move from tiny brilliant case studies to planetary scale and galaxy scale census science, the old excuses begin to disappear. Either dark matter's fingerprints show up cleanly at cosmic scale or something is wrong with our current framework. Either dark energy behaves consistently across billions of years or we are staring at a deeper problem in physics than most people realize. Roman is not just broadening astronomy, it is tightening the pressure on the universe to explain itself. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking Roman and Webb are rivals. They are not, they are two halves of a much more powerful system. Webb is the close-up specialist, the observatory that can stare deep into one object and pull out astonishing detail. Roman is the cosmic scout, sweeping huge regions of the universe to find where the real action is. One finds the patterns, the other dissects them, and that partnership changes everything. Roman can identify strange gravitational lenses, unexpected supernovae, unusual galaxy structures, exoplanet signals, and sky regions where dark matter seems to be shaping reality in especially revealing ways. Then Webb can turn its giant mirror toward those specific targets and study them with the kind of detail Roman was never designed to provide. In other words, Roman finds where the universe is hiding its secrets, and Webb leans in close enough to read them. That may be the deepest reason Roman matters. It is not just another telescope joining the fleet. It is the missing wide-field engine that makes the rest of the fleet more dangerous. Webb showed us what extraordinary individual objects look like. Roman is about to tell us where, how often, and on what scale those extraordinary things are happening across the sky. Together they do something astronomy has rarely been able to do well at the same time: understand both the forest and the trees. In the end, Roman is not faster than James Webb in the simple sense of being a better version of the same machine. It is more disruptive than that. Webb looks deep. Roman looks wide. Webb shows us what one extraordinary object looks like. Roman is about to show us what billions of objects are doing at once. That shift in scale is exactly why Roman may end up changing cosmology more than almost any telescope before it. With 2 billion galaxies, 100 million stars, and a survey wide enough to expose patterns no previous telescope could capture, Roman is not just collecting more data. It is forcing the universe to give clearer answers. And maybe the most exciting part of all is that Roman will not be working alone. It will find the large-scale patterns, the strange events, the hidden distortions, and the unexpected outliers, and then Webb can go in close and examine them in extraordinary detail. One maps the city, the other opens the doors. This is not just the launch of another space telescope. It is the beginning of a new observational era where humanity may finally start measuring rather than merely guessing at the forces that control almost everything in existence.